Heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, welcome to this very special edition of a Plus Platoon. We have a Disney World expert who has been over 30 times, myself. I'm going to Disneyland for the first time in 2 weeks, and I don't know what I'm doing. I will be the first to admit that. I've been over 30 times to Disney World. I've planned trips, but I've never been to Disneyland. Luckily, we do have some Disneyland experts on the show, and we know some of you who are watching are also going to be our Disneyland experts. So please, and if you've never been to Disneyland, ask questions. If you have been to Disneyland, give us the advice. So I'm going to start with Gina. Gina, I'd say you probably qualify as a Disneyland expert.
Yeah, born and raised in SoCal. I've probably been to Disneyland. 1 year I did clock it. I'd been like 200 times in 1 year. So,
Oh, wow.
So figure that out. I don't know. That was my college years.
Yeah. Next, we've got Pete. Pete, been to Disneyland a few times from what I hear.
Well, I am not in Gina's category whatsoever, but I am an East Coaster, and I have been to Disneyland 4 times. So, I can help you with the view of being a Walt Disney World expert and having gone a few times.
Definitely.
You know what I would say you would want to see as a Walt Disney Worlder.
Okay. And we've also got Sam. Sam, you are almost a Disneylander.
I have my Disneyland popcorn bucket with me just for this occasion. So I live in the Seattle area, and I did grow up on the East Coast. I only went to Disneyland once as a kid, but in the last, 5 years, I've gone more than probably 10 times. So I would consider myself much more of a Disneyland expert than a Disney World expert. I do not profess to be a world expert, although of course I've been to Disney World probably in my life, more than 5, maybe less than 10 times. Okay. Yeah, but not as much recent knowledge as my Disneyland knowledge. Yeah, so I'm not a Gina level expert, but definitely in between Gina and Pete, and give you the West Coast, Best Coast perspective.
It's kind of hard to be at my level, only because my college was nicknamed Cal State Disney because of how close it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, a little bit of background about the trip I'm taking. My wife has a work experience out in Southern California. She's going to be there for 2 weeks. Luckily, she has the middle weekend off, and I'm going to go out and join her. I've never been out to that side. She's been to Disneyland once, but it was years ago when she was in high school. So I think it was 9 or 10 years ago. Love you, dear. But so she's going to be out there. She's going to have 1 day. And I will have I'm going to be going back a second day by myself because she's got to work. We will be driving in from the south. We're not staying anywhere within walking distance because it's the hotel her work pays for. We are going to get a 1-day park hopper for my wife. I'm going to get a 2-day park hopper, so we will be able to jump back and forth. On the full day, at least, we want to really focus on what can't we see at Disney World. We're DVC members out there. We go every year. What can't we see at Disney World? And there is one non-negotiable must. We must see Main Street Electrical Parade while we're out there. That's Absolutely. The parade I grew up on. That is the best parade ever put on by Disney. I would even argue better than Tokyo Dreamlights. And that is the one thing we have both said that it is not a successful day if we do not see Main Street Electrical Parade.
All right. Those are good parameters.
Yeah.
With those parameters sitting out there, I want to talk first about some of the basic differences between Disneyland and Disney World. First question that came up, and this was a question my wife asked. We are huge. We love the magic bands at Disney World. We love doing that. What do we do? How do we use our tickets? How do we charge stuff, etc. at
This
Disneyland?
is your best friend.
This is what.
Make sure you buy fuel rod. This is your BFF. It's called your phone.
Your phone, you will go through. Yeah, you need either fuel rods or some other battery packs that you're carrying with you because you will be using your phone a lot. And it will drain battery, especially because, for everything, for tickets, for everything. If you're doing Genie Plus, for
food, mobile orders, everything is mobile.
Yeah. Or even for the maps and stuff, right? You're going to use your phone for everything. So you're going to need a lot of battery power. Also, internet's kind of spotty, so it does eat your battery quite a bit.
Okay.
Turn off Wi-Fi.
Turn off Wi-Fi and use cell service?
Yes.
Okay.
Wi-Fi sucks there.
If you can, yeah.
Because at World, sometimes it's better to actually use the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is terrible.
It depends on where you are, but so use cell. Okay.
Yeah, there are no magic bands at Disneyland. So for those of you who haven't been to Disneyland,
from what I hear, they're coming.
I don't think so. I don't think they're ever going to do it.
They said they would, but we have a law that's RFID specific. We are not allowed to have RFID tracking at all in California. So.
Yeah.
This is our tracker.
So then how do you use the phone because I'm assuming you use the RFID chip in your phone.
Yeah. We're allowed
They're
to
using
use
some satellite or something.
We're allowed to use this to track us. The only tracking device is this. We cannot have an RFID tracker. It's dumb, but that's what it is. Yeah. And
next
Steve
question.
Agrees. Wait, Steve agrees. Just want to say Steve agrees with us.
Yes.
Phone.
Yes. Phone and portable batteries.
And if you use the fuel rod, those are ones you can buy one, you buy your first one, and then you can exchange. So if you don't want to carry around your own portable battery, it's really easy. All around the parks, they have these fuel rod stations. It's really easy to buy a fuel rod and then just swap it out. Yeah.
I will say we have very, very good external batteries already, so we probably won't do the fuel rods. But my wife's actually watching this. Already helpful. Thanks, everyone. So, Amy, please ask questions. If I don't get it right, trust me, I'm used to being corrected. So
I did want to mention while we're talking about the phones, from what I hear, it wasn't Genie Plus at the time, but last time we were out there, we did use the Max Pass service, which the Genie Plus is now called Genie Plus. For how terrible it is in Florida, it is awesome in California.
Yeah,
and we're
going to
get
there.
I wouldn't
use it. Yeah.
But you do need to. So this is the other thing to tell people, and Derek probably knows this already. You need the Disneyland app. So it's a separate app. It's not there's a Disney World app that everybody uses in Disney World. It looks the same, but it is the Disneyland app. When I say it looks the same, obviously it has a different icon, but the format is very similar to the Disney World one. So you need to download, if you're going to Disneyland, you need to download that app before you go.
Can you see this? Oh, and it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be a homepage and got wait times, etc.
Yeah.
So,
and you sign in to your Disneyland account.
Same Disney account.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Yes. At Disney World, Epcot and Hollywood Studios, the parks are literally miles apart. And I've got a couple maps I'm going to pull up here. Let me switch to this view for this one.
Yeah.
Guys, it looks like those parks are incredibly close together. Mm-hmm. Are they as close as they look?
Yes. Closer.
Feet. Yes.
Yeah. The front gates.
Yes. You will not believe how close they are.
Yeah. The front gates are super close, so it is much easier to park hop. You will not move your car. You will not go through security again. Once you are in downtown Disney, you go through security to get into downtown Disney, and then you go from one park to downtown Disney to the other park, right? You do not have to. You only go through security once unless you leave the Disney bubble.
Okay, that's great to know.
It's just a schlep getting there.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that's the next thing we're going to talk about is parking. Yes. Obviously, if since if I was staying at one of the hotels around, I would obviously, stay there and walk. But again, we are staying probably an hour to an hour and a half south of where Disneyland is.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to flip it on over to our next slide. So up at the top, it looks like the Mickey and Friends and the Pixar Pals. Those are both parking garages. Am I correct, Gina and Sam?
Yes.
Okay. Then you've got the Simba parking lot over there by the Disneyland Hotel.
That's our downtown Disney parking.
Okay. And you have the Toy Story lot down at Harbor and Catella.
Yes.
We're coming in from the south on I-5, so we're kind of coming up that big diagonal gold streak up the right. Where should we park?
I recommend exiting Catella and going into that Toy Story lot for the shuttle, because that security entrance is usually less crowded than the Mickey and Friends Pixar Pals dual humongous biggest thing on North America, biggest parking structure in North America. That is so hard to get into. Sometimes you're waiting 30 minutes just to park. Toy Story lot, you parked in 10 minutes, you get on the shuttle, you're in probably in about 15-20 minutes. The problem is when you leave, when everyone else is leaving, that could be an hour wait. So wait as late as you possibly can to get on those shuttles back to the Toy Story lot, because that is the longest time.
So you hear that, dear? We are supposed to wait until the shops close an hour after closing and then
just for that
get
shuttle.
Kicked out. Like I always love to do for Magic Kingdom, dear. You see, Gina says they all say we're supposed to do it. They all say we're supposed to do it. So
and Gina, now I'm not somebody who drives to Disneyland, but I see those security lines when I'm hanging out in downtown Disney, and Gina is 100% correct. The security line that you'll come in from, if you're coming from the Toy Story lot, will be moving. It will not be, there won't be nobody there, but it will not be, a half-hour wait to go through security. Whereas the other one, if you're coming from Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pals, you're coming the same direction as everyone who's staying at the Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier Hotel. And so that security line just can be backed up for a really long way.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for me that's not as much an expert, I assume you're saying this is the one coming off of Harbor?
The one coming off of Harbor and Ball Road, that Mickey and Friends, that is so bad.
Yesterday, like bus loops.
Yesterday to park took us 30 minutes to park, just to get into the gate to park. Then we knew better not to wait in that line for the tram. We ended up walking downtown Disney, and we got there in about 20 minutes.
Okay, and where did you park that time? Where'd you park yesterday?
We parked at Mickey and Friends. Yesterday I parked at Mickey and Friends.
Okay.
Because I like to leave before the fireworks, so I just leave.
So where does Toy Story drop you then?
Enter.
It drops you at the front, at the old Disney front.
Kind of above the little Mickey head in the white bubble there, where it looks like there's the three loops
where I was
there.
About. That's off of Harbor, isn't it?
The one off of Harbor.
Harbor Catella. You get off at Catella, you turn left, and it's on Harbor, and you can walk.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because that's where you're coming from the hotels too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve says it's about a 15-minute walk from Toy Story to the front gate, about a mile. I'm guessing 3/4 mile to a mile. Okay. All right. What is parking runs $30 a day? Am I right, Gina, on that ish? Is there an advantage to buying it ahead of time?
No.
Okay.
There's no discounts, and there's no discounts, no nothing. Even if you park at Garden Walk, which is a little shopping center down the street, or you park at a hotel, it's still $30. You can't. Anaheim knows how to do it.
Okay.
They know how to get you money.
And remember, from the time you get close to Disneyland to the time you get to the park gates, there's a lot of time. So if you want to be rope dropping, you need to be planning to be there, an hour before the gates open.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, so there's Amy's question.
What time should we? We want to plan on rope dropping Disneyland.
Okay.
We want to be there. So they open at 8:00.
You need to leave at 6.
I'm assuming you need to leave at 6. That gets us there about 7:15. Is that enough time?
It should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday, you should be fine.
They sometimes open the gates earlier. Or start letting people through, maybe 15 minutes in advance, but then they'll have the rope out. So
it's kind of like they do at World, we can get into Main Street, but not beyond that.
You can get your Starbucks. You can get your Starbucks.
You can rope drop Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
But the Starbucks
7:30.
Yeah. But the Starbucks lines are incredibly long. Get some drive-through Starbucks.
If you wait about an hour and a half after opening, the lines are
Not-
usually less.
Not
Not here.
there.
Not there, not
Okay.
in California.
No, it's always long. I
always-
mobile order Starbucks on downtown to get my Starbucks if I really.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is a pro
Okay.
tip. You can mobile order Starbucks at Downtown Disney on the Starbucks app. You cannot mobile order, just like at Disney
Inside.
World. You can't mobile order Starbucks inside.
Okay.
Either on the Disney app or on
Yeah.
the
So if you
Starbucks app.
really need your coffee, get it at Downtown Disney when you land.
Or get
Or-
it at drive-through on the way.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have somewhere between an hour and an hour and a half drive up. I think we can find some place to stop for breakfast and coffee.
There's actually I can give you some Carlsbad tips later. There's some really
Okay,
great places
awesome.
at Carlsbad. Yeah.
Okay. Knowing what the answer would be at Disney World, I'm 2.5 weeks out and I've done no planning. Am I screwed?
No.
Nope.
The
Okay.
best
Yeah.
food is quick serve.
Yeah,
Because-
the only thing you're screwed on is you're not going to be able to get like character dining or really any sit down dining. But none of that is, as Sheena said, really a bad thing because the food's not that great. The best food is in Downtown Disney, in my
For
opinion,
sure. And the resorts.
and
Yeah.
the resorts. Yeah, and so you're not going to be able to get that food. But in the parks, but you're not going to want to leave the parks
Yeah.
because you only
No.
have 2
Uh-uh.
days.
Yeah.
Well,
And the
and
quick
we
serve
only
is
got 1 day.
actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we wouldn't want. We normally do sit downs, but that's when we're there for 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
We've been there multiple times. If we're only there for 1 day, it's going to be quick service. So
Quick serve,
okay.
and you can get nice food at Plaza Inn. I always has good food. Jolly Holiday has good food. All of them have good, except for Docking Bay 7, which we all failed on yesterday. It's a fail.
Okay.
And you can do Docking Bay 7 in World, so
Yeah.
don't do it.
Okay. So this
Except
is,
if you want that coffee, that cold brew
Oh,
coffee.
if you like coffee, get that in Docking Bay 7.
so I don't need Docking Bay 7. Okay.
Okay.
Not a coffee drinker.
Oh, that
Stop at
coffee's so
McDonald's
good.
and give me a Coke. I mean, if I
All
really
right.
need caffeine.
All right.
Fair enough.
So this is the back page of the Disney World map that I pulled off of their land. Wow, guys. See,
It's okay.
see,
okay.
World is automatic.
Yeah.
So, and this is a zoom in of the map. You've got Main Street in the middle. You've got the same hub and spoke ish as you do at Magic Kingdom. So, guys, I'm just going to go through the different lands, kind of shotgun off rides. Tell me, same, different, and if it's different, if it's worth seeing. Okay.
Fair
Or
enough.
if it's similar but still worth seeing, let me know that too. So we're going to start on Main Street, USA. And from that, I'm going to talk about, the Disney World Railroad. Okay.
Yes, but you don't need to get on until Fantasyland. You don't have to do the whole circle tour.
Okay. Where is the diorama?
It's
It's
between Fantasyland and the front.
It's between Tomorrowland and the front. So you actually can get on at Tomorrowland Station.
Oh,
Okay.
True.
Because that's the main part of it that I want to see is
Then
is
just go on Tomorrowland. You don't have to do the whole full 360.
Tomorrowland to the
Just-
front.
Yeah.
You don't, but I kind of feel like you want to do the back of Frontierland too.
Yeah, 'cause it does the left turn. Yeah, 'cause it does do that left turn
I
now.
was going to say, don't you want to see the left turn?
There
I
is a left
think-
turn.
Ooh.
I personally think you do. I
A
think you
trip?
do the railroad once around.
It's
Do
30
What,
minutes.
the whole thing.
It's
If you have
30.
30 minutes, it's 30 minutes.
I think
Okay,
it's like to me, it's like a midday thing.
Yes,
A midday
you
break.
need
When
a
you
break.
when you need a break to sit
Okay.
down.
I don't
Grab,
like
and
grab
you-
your snack. Get on.
Whether
the
you
Okay.
whether you do the whole thing or not is up to you. I mean, they're completely right. You definitely want to see the diorama between
Right, yeah.
Tomorrowland, but it's really like it's more useful as a form of transportation than it
During
is in Magic Kingdom
Yeah.
because there's 5 stops,
four.
four stops,
Mhm.
but still it's convenient. Like I'm in Tomorrowland, I want to go over to New Orleans Square. Instead of walking, you take the
Save the
train.
And especially
yeah.
for parades, because they shut down that whole route down Main Street. So it is actually faster to go around.
Yeah.
on the train.
And
Yeah.
okay, do the parades go under the track in Fantasyland, or will they
Our-
stop the trains?
No. Our track is level with the land, and the Fantasyland does not go that way. It ends on the right side near Small World by 37. That's where we end. That's our
Okay,
staging
but
area.
then where do the floats go? They have to go
On the-
backstage somewhere.
They go behind Small World on this side, and then they come down and they go behind.
Okay, this and that side you can't see the mice.
Sorry.
So
Sorry, they go.
Just go-
Okay, number 37 is where that's where they'll
Right.
start for the Main Street Electrical Parade. They'll start there, and they will finish on. There's a backstage area
Downtown.
on Main Street next to. I'm trying to look. Next to Space
Hold
Mountain.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll finish kind of over here by 6 and 7.
They turn at
Yeah,
6.
by 6 and
Yeah.
7, exactly.
Okay. Then does the second parade go the other direction?
Yes.
Yes.
We have storage on both sides.
Okay. Okay. Does it come out though on the left-hand side of 37 or the right-hand side of 37?
If you're
The
looking at
right
it the
hand side.
Right
you're
hand
looking at it
side.
the right
Right
side.
side? Okay. So, but it doesn't have to cross the railroad tracks?
No, it doesn't, because
Okay.
it's got storage like right where that, I don't know if that's
Okay.
a bathroom symbol or whatever. There's storage
Okay.
somewhere over
Yeah,
there.
there's storage right behind Small World.
Okay.
If you can see the Small World structure, that's
Okay.
the storage area.
Because the only reason I'm asking is because I know at Magic Kingdom they have to shut down the trains
No.
for. Okay. All right.
I take that train during
Then-
breaks. They
okay.
shut down the monorail. They do shut down the monorail. The monorail is indoors inside Disneyland. The monorail you can take
Right. Yeah.
from Disneyland to the hotel, or you can do the Grand Circle tour. But they do shut down the monorail at like
Monorail?
7 p.m. hmm
Don't bother
Okay.
with the monorail.
Don't
Okay.
bother with the monorail. I agree.
Okay. While we're
Unless
on
you
Main-
really need the Mark 9 or
Whatever.
Whatever one we are.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
I would say skip the monorail also.
I like
Okay.
to do it if there's a long line, but that's just to
Okay.
get in.
Next, the other one on Main Street, and this may be more when I'm there by myself, the Disneyland story Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
I like it once.
Like it,
You got to do it
especially-
once.
Once? Okay.
It's probably the only thing I haven't seen there.
You know
I
what's
just never
funny?
got around to it.
Me either. I haven't seen it. Well, I might have seen it as a kid, but I don't remember it. I haven't seen it as an adult. But it is a classical,
It's
Walt.
Walt.
It's
Did it.
Great Moments with
thing.
Mr. Lincoln. Yeah.
So,
it's-
Walt did it.
yeah. So it's one of those things where if you've got the time for it, perhaps on that second day, do
Okay.
it. But if you miss it, it's not the end of the
Right.
world.
But it's a good
Oh, yeah.
midday break. It's nice and AC in there. You
30
get to see the
minutes-ish?
bench. Yeah. And you get to see the bench where Walt came up with Disneyland. They have the bench. So
Yeah.
that opera
Aw.
house room is just so like nostalgic and cute.
You can walk through that also without going into
Yeah.
seeing the great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
And
So
I
you
agree
could
with
just walk
Steve.
through there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with Steve.
If you're a Disney fan, you have to see it once. Okay.
Once,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Okay. Next, we are moving on over into Adventureland. First one I have a question on
Wait.
is
One quick thing though. You talking about Main Street. I need to tell you when you're going to walk down Main Street, this is going to be a big shock. I know that you already heard.
Castle.
Yeah, I know you've already heard that the castle is small, but I want to just warn you. You are
It's really small.
It's really
like
small.
78
Like,
feet tall or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever you're imagining it to be as small, make it
smaller.
like
Smaller.
half the size. Yeah, make it like
Okay.
half of that. Okay,
Like
so just a
baby
warning. Yeah,
Okay.
but
And-
it feels really good walking down Main Street because it's Walt's original Main
Yes.
Street, and so an original castle, and so it has all the feels for me.
And from what I
Me
hear,
too.
it's narrower too.
It is.
Oh yes, it's smaller in every way.
Everything's
Yeah.
smaller. Yeah.
Everything's
And make su-
smaller.
Make sure
Oh,
to
go ahead.
check out the light above the fire station where Walt's
Yes, yeah.
Apartment.
apartment is.
And then the other
Okay.
thing is the names that are etched are all
On the-
people who bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who bought Project X.
Okay. All right. So heading on over into Adventureland now. That's the first left out of the hub.
Mhm.
Okay. Excuse me. Looking at the map, it looks like it's the first left out of the hub,
It
Gina.
is. It
Okay.
is.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. First one I have, it was an opening day attraction, Jungle Cruise.
I have not been on the Disney World's updated version, so I cannot tell you if it's the same or not. I have not been on the updated. There is no plane though on ours. Ours is the no plane.
It's slightly different, but unless you're a huge fan, I wouldn't say it's a must do.
Okay. Fair
That's
enough.
what I was gonna say. I agree with Pete. It's almost exactly the same, and
Okay.
of course the narration is gonna change depending upon who your skipper is. So it's not a must do if you've been on the Disney World one a million times. It's really not. It's
there's-
not
Okay.
remarkably different.
The jokes
Yeah,
are the
there's-
same.
It's a little bit shorter, I think, and some of
have
the
a plane.
order of things is different. So,
Okay.
but otherwise, yeah, it's not very different.
Okay. Steve just brought up the second one I was going to mention, Indiana Jones. From what I hear, this is an absolute must do.
Must
It
Yes.
do.
is.
100%.
And ours is better. I agree with Steve. It's better.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's better than dinosaurs for sure.
Infinitely better than dinosaur.
And guys, I
Yeah.
want to say I've actually never ridden dinosaur.
Oh,
So
then you're
just-
not missing
Then
anything.
You must do it.
Okay.
You must do
Yeah.
it anyway.
okay. So Indiana Jones is definitely a must do. And we'll talk order we should go to stuff in later.
Now, you could also do Indiana Jones sometimes single rider. You just have to ask if they're offering it for that day.
Okay. And yeah, because I read somewhere like sometimes you have to ask and they'll send you in the back type thing.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to ask because sometimes
Okay.
they do and sometimes they don't.
Okay. This one, most people may not think is a big deal, but it's one of my favorites of the Magic Kingdom. The Enchanted Tiki Room. Yes, the Enchanted Tiki Room. Is it okay? I know they've gone back to the original one. Does this one have the Offenbach section in it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
this is the whole show.
This
The
is
whole real deal.
Okay.
If you are a fan, I would say do it.
Okay.
I think I'm a big tiki
Yes.
room fan,
So am I.
and this is the tiki bird, right? This is the original
Okay.
tiki birds.
It's the
And
original-
then-
It's
Oh, go ahead.
sold.
Yeah.
The
and
other
from what I
thing-
hear, unlike the other one, you can actually take Dole Whip into it.
Yes, I was going
Yes,
to say
you
that.
can.
You can buy the Dole Whip, but there's a new place that's called Tropical Hideaway, which is right
Mm.
behind the Tiki Room, and they
Right.
have different Dole Whips, and the line's very quickly moving. It looks really
But
long, but
why
it
would
moves
you-
really quick.
But why would you want different Dole Whips?
Yeah, and you can mobile order Dole Whip.
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Right there.
But if you go there, you find out what happened to Rosita.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm in agreement. If you're a fan of Tiki Room, go to
Okay.
the Tiki Room.
Awesome. All right. I think that pretty well covers Adventureland.
Yep.
Treehouse.
Next, it
Treehouse is down.
is closed.
Dress is
I know.
closed.
Closed.
Yeah.
No, it is.
And speaking of things that are closed, sadly, moving on to New Orleans Square,
Yes.
Pirates of the Caribbean is closed right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Scheduled closed until June 30th. I'm
took out the big
hoping
tree.
there's previews, but
I wouldn't
Yeah.
count on it. Yeah.
Just walk
Yeah.
around and go see, but definitely do New Orleans Square. Look at all the details because it has Roy and Walt's initials up there at or at the whatever that Royal Street.
Royal
21
Street.
is.
Yeah.
yeah.
21
They
Royal.
have, yeah. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know. It used to be the gallery. I don't even know what it's called anymore. Then they have Club 33s up there, and you can check that out. That's the
You
original.
can see the door.
You can see
You
the
can see the
door.
door,
You can see some of the people on the balcony that'll come out, and
Okay.
then they have the nice bathrooms back there, and they have the French Market, which I like some of their beignets. They have really good.
Yeah.
beignets.
Okay.
That's so
Awesome.
the big pro tip for New Orleans
Sorry.
Square. The big pro tip for New Orleans Square, other than of course Haunted Mansion, which we'll talk about, is the beignets. So there, you can't get these at Disney World. So you can get Mickey beignets at a couple different places. at
Okay. Are they
Disneyland.
similar though to the ones at French Quarter?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think they're good, but they're not like actual
not go seek 'em
New
out
Orleans.
type
The
thing.
real beignets are at Jazz Kitchen, the real ones
Okay.
from.
Oh yeah, Ralph Brennan's Chef's
if you
Kitchen
want
in
real
downtown.
ones, that's at downtown. If you want real
I-
beignets,
Okay.
they're there.
I still think that the Mickey one. I eat a lot of beignets in New Orleans at Cafe du Monde, and I think the Mickey beignets are excellent. Are they exactly perfect? No, but they are really, really good. So
Yes,
I
they
would
are.
recommend.
Well,
them. Yes.
I guess what I was
Thank you,
asking
Steve.
was if I've had the ones at French Quarter, do I need to try these?
Gotcha.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
So
Unless you're a beignet fan.
and okay, Sam, you brought up the next one, and I've heard very mixed thoughts on this. Other than looking at the outside, is Haunted Mansion here worth a ride?
Yes, I
Yes.
say yes.
Aha.
No.
We have the
Okay.
real elevator.
Why?
We have the real elevator, so you actually are
Okay.
in,
Yes,
in
the
an
stretching
elevator.
room. Yeah.
Our pre-show is way different. It's
Okay.
way more walking. And then our ride is different. And we have Hattie. Hatbox Ghost is original. Why would you not?
Oh,
do
you do have the
Hatbox?
Hatbox Ghost. It is not. It is okay. It's not that different. Sorry, Gene.
It's not, so I'm gonna go halfway between Pete and Gene here. It's not remarkably different, but if it's a ride that you really like, to me, it's one that you need to go on.
It's
Addie.
one that I like.
Uh,
Is it? Will I be okay if we put this further down on our list?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, Hattie.
Okay. All right.
I would say
Um.
if it's a 30-minute wait. That's 30 minutes. If it's more than that, you don't have to. But if it's 30 minutes, that's the cutoff.
And I will say that will depend on where we are and what else we haven't seen yet.
Right.
So
There's nothing.
Um,
bad
Yeah,
about it.
I would say you're trying to do both these parks in a single day. I would.
Yeah, you're not
put
going to
it
be able
pretty
to.
low on the priority.
Oh, I know we're not
list.
going to be able to. I
Yeah.
know we're not going to be
Yeah,
able to.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. We're just talking. That's
Yeah.
why we're trying to recommend things that are different.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
for example, we can just skip Galaxy's Edge completely.
You can totally skip it. Yeah. Except
So-
I
Well,
said,
but we're not there
Right.
yet. Yeah,
I
but
know we're not
yeah,
there yet,
yeah,
but I'm just
yeah,
giving
yeah,
an
yeah.
example. Like that's
Right,
like
yeah.
literally something you can completely skip.
And that's two big rides that we don't have to worry about trying to ride.
right.
Right.
And moving on from New Orleans Square over to Critter Country, I'm assuming I can skip Splash.
You can 100% skip for me, but
So here's the thing. It's a very different ride. The log flume, the ride vehicle is very, very different.
it's worse.
But you're gonna get soaking wet on the Disneyland version. So I personally skipped this ride, not
It's
because
worse.
I like it, but I think the Disney World version is better. So they're different, but the Disney World version is better. And I don't like walking around soaking wet, and you like literally your feet will get
Yeah.
waterlogged. And so I would say skip it.
Okay.
If you're not
And-
worried about the
And
compare
if we're getting
contrast.
and if we're getting soaked, it's a no. Because
Yeah,
who wants to
don't
walk
do it.
around in wet shoes?
That's
Exactly.
that's my
Yeah,
It's the
especially you
worst.
can't change if you get drenched. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
got drenched on that ride, not on the big drop. We got drenched on that ride in one
Yes.
of
On
the
that
internal
one.
drops.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was back to the room drenched.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
It's
So
Your
was Kali
shoes
River
will
Rapids
be
drenched?
soaked.
yes,
Yeah, your shoes will be
Wow.
your shoes
It's
get
dumb.
soaked. It's
Yeah, it's the worst.
not well done
Yeah, so
because
that's a
of
no.
that. Yeah.
Easy
I tell
no.
the kids, we can go on Splash Mountain, but that's our last ride because we're going on the home ride after that.
yeah. It's
Okay.
like Cali. Like when you're going
Yeah.
back to the hotel, that's when you do it.
Okay. The Winnie the Pooh ride over there.
Eh,
It's
It's-
really similar. It's not
It's-
exactly the same,
and
but
it's not
it's
as
really
good.
similar, and it doesn't have the walkthrough that Disney World has,
Right.
where you like play with the stuff. It doesn't have any
It
of
doesn't
that.
have that.
So I
And
would
the
say
the ride in World is better only because it's more of a story and you feel all the things. You just feel like you're gliding the whole time. There's no
Oh,
different.
you don't get to bounce with Tigger?
No.
No,
it's
then forget it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I like the ride, but I feel like it's so similar to the Disney World version
And-
that it's just not a
Okay.
It's
worthwhile.
better.
And you
No,
can just kind of avoid Critter Country there because we were
Yeah.
telling you there's
Yeah.
only 2 rides there.
And we
If
don't
you
really need to
wanna-
do either one.
You
Yeah.
don't need
Right.
to do either one, so just kind of avoid Critter
Okay.
Country.
You don't have to watch.
Moving on to Frontierland, Big Thunder.
It's different enough.
it's a reflection. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 It's
So,
like the track is truly opposite, or it's just okay.
it's completely opposite.
Completely
so
opposite.
every turn is in the opposite direction
Yes.
of what it is.
It's completely
Okay.
opposite.
It's
and the go
a-
effect works here. It doesn't work in World. I just tried
Yeah,
it.
it does.
No. The mine effect
Oh,
there is actual effects, and it's
The mine
very cool.
effect. The mine effect. Okay.
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't put it number 1 on my list, but I would definitely check out if you can get it without too long a wait.
Okay.
It's definitely if
is-
you're a fan of Big Thunder, it's definitely
Okay.
very different from our
Big Thunder is probably my number 2 roller coaster at Disney World.
Okay,
See,
good
and-
go.
Then
I
I would say
was-
yes.
Yeah.
I was now hearing it's your number 2 roller coaster, I'd say do it. But honestly, I was gonna say this is one, in my opinion, that you can. I love this ride, but I kind of feel like you can skip it if you want. If you're wanting to do things that you can't do at Disney World, to me, this
Okay.
is like so similar enough. I mean, it's really just a mirror
It is.
image.
It's not super different, but I'd put this above Haunted Mansion myself.
Oh, I wouldn't, but
I
the
wouldn't.
mine effects are way better here.
Okay. Is the mine effect similar to how it used to be at World?
No,
Were
it's
the-
way better
were-
than that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
'Cause-
better. Yeah.
Because those of you who don't know, the rocks actually did used to move and all that. The earthquake stuff
Yeah.
did used to happen.
Yeah.
There,
It
there's,
used to happen
there's,
here too.
there's actual effects now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's LEDs and there's effects. Yeah.
And
So good.
I'm assuming this is like the other one where it's better at night.
Mm,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Okay. Okay. I have a feeling I know on these, but I'm going to ask the Mark Twain and the sailing ship skip.
So yeah, they're the same.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't-
And in fact, our Rivers
just
of
wouldn't
America is
waste-
short now.
I just wouldn't waste your time
Okay.
And our-
there.
And our Rivers of America are so short.
But this is why I do think you need to do the train, do the train ride
Oh.
all around, because then you at least get to see really sort of that backside before you
Okay.
go through past Galaxy's Edge, that sort of that backside of Rivers of America.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why I think you do the full revolution on the train.
That That's very fair point. Okay, as Steve has said, now we will spend more time on Fantasyland dark rides.
Yes.
The first one that intrigues me actually is the Sleeping Beauty walkthrough
Oh, I haven't
on
done
the
that in a long
inside
time.
of it.
Yeah, it's
It's
cute.
cool. It's definitely worth, but that's like middle of the day when there's crowds
It's a
because
3-minute deal.
because no
You
one
just
goes
Right.
there. type
Yeah, you
thing?
just walk
Okay.
and read. You just walk and read.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah,
Okay.
just walk and read.
I've done it twice.
Okay.
I've done it a lot, but it's not a go-to.
Now, from what I hear, either the Casey Jr. train or the Canal Boats, do they basically see the same thing?
Canal Boats.
Canal Boats. Is
But do the Canal Boats? Okay.
Yeah. The Casey Jr. train
It's baby.
is
It's
not
tiny. You're
really
cramped.
Okay.
it's not
Okay.
really
You-
sized
oh.
for adults, and you don't
Okay.
see as much as you do with the Canal Boats.
And you'd be
It's cramped.
cramped in there. They would cramp you in there. Your knees would be at your chest. It would be
Oh.
uncomfortable.
Not
Then no.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
You only do
No.
it if you have a little kid with you. It's not
Now,
worth-
an
yeah.
interesting story about the Canal Boats. My mother went with her family in 1956.
Wow.
My grandfather, there was a guy there working on the landscaping. My grandfather was able to get out of the boat and go take close-up pictures of all the different
Whoa.
houses.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
And it's like that was
Amazing.
the guy's job, is they would let people get out and take pictures.
Wow.
So I'm assuming that's not going to happen anymore.
No.
But
Yeah.
but
And yeah.
okay.
So
Um,
as a non-Disneyland person, to me, everything in Fantasyland is worth doing, except maybe Peter Pan,
Not
because
Peter Pan.
it's what?
I said you don't need to do Peter Pan at all. It's too
Right.
long of a wait.
It's because it's too busy and it's very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the effects in London aren't worth it.
Not worth it.
no,
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
just went on it.
Just went
and
on
I
it.
then-
just went out yesterday, and it's just
Yeah.
we were we had a VIP tour, so we didn't have to wait in the lines. But it's always reliably 45 minutes to an
Yeah.
hour, and
This is
it's
not
just
too
not.
like it isn't magic.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not.
But-
But
worth
it's
it.
hot. The line is hot. There's no
Yeah.
relief in that line.
Yeah, all
either.
the all the dark rides, none of the dark rides have Genie Plus. I don't
No.
believe, correct?
Okay.
No.
So to me, that's what you rope drop. You skip Peter Pan
Alice.
because everybody goes to Peter Pan, and then
Do
hit
Alice.
what?
Do Alice. Alice in Wonderland is
Yes, Alice in
surprised we
Do
didn't
Alice
yesterday. That's,
first?
like my favorite.
Oh.
Alice,
No,
yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying you got Snow White, you got Pinocchio, you got Mr.
Snow White's
Toad,
always
and you
short.
got Alice.
Pinocchio's always short. They're always short. Alice
Yeah.
is the longest of all those. So yes, Alice you do first because Alice is 45 minutes guaranteed. The shortest line we waited
And
like
Snow White.
Snow White
Snow-
was like 20
Snow
minutes.
White will be like, yeah, sometimes 30, but like
Right.
that'll be a long wait for Snow White.
Pinocchio's a walk on, and Mr. Toad's like 10 minutes.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
because from what I've heard, Mr. Toad, the only real reason to ride Mr. Toad is because it was one of the originals.
Yeah.
It's all 2D flats and all that. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Except
Okay.
for when you go to hell, that part's still fun.
Yeah.
You still get rid of red train.
Mr. Toad is well worth
Yeah.
just because it's so weird.
Because it's so
And-
weird.
and
And
Okay,
it doesn't
that's fair.
exist anyplace else, right? I
Right.
mean, that's the thing.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
Pinocchio's really good. I haven't seen the new Snow White, so I can't comment on that.
It's really good. They really did a good job changing
And
making the
Alice
ending.
is awesome. It was awesome before, and then they
It's awesomer.
they plussed it,
It's
and
awesomer.
it's so good. Those
so
those
good.
four are definitely, as I said, I would
Okay.
rope drop that area. I would skip Peter Pan and hit
Do
the other
Alice.
four. Dumbo and the merry-go-round. That's
Skip.
definitely
Skip.
your mileage may
I
vary.
figured. Yeah. Tea Party, the same
Um,
thing.
Skip.
Tea Party,
Skip.
Carousel, Skip. Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Small World is definitely worth doing
Yeah.
since we're still
Okay.
in Fantasyland.
Yeah, since we're still in Small World, because that is the original, or the closer to the original Small World. It does
Yeah.
have all the Disney characters in it, but
Yes. It's the
Yeah, it's-
1964.
It's not
version.
it's not that different from ours, except that you load outdoors and then they have the clock and everything. So it's
The clock's
worth
amazing.
doing.
The Mary Blair clock.
And actually, I really like the Disney characters because it's fun to kind of spot.
Point them out. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not
Okay.
very like ostentatious in your face.
okay. And I am assuming the elephant we haven't mentioned is the Yeti we haven't mentioned. I'm assuming Matterhorn's a yes.
Once. Yeah, once.
Um,
You like Space Mountain? Do you like Space Mountain in World?
Is my favorite roller coaster.
Then yes, you do it.
Yeah, just a little forewarning. You might need a trip to the chiropractor after.
Yes.
And you like space. But you
So,
like
okay,
Space Mountain, which
if
is
you
the
really
same.
like,
it's
yeah, I mean, it's a
way
little worse.
it's
a little
way
Jerkier.
worse than
Okay,
space.
try to go. Okay, wait. There's a side that's better. Try to go. There's a left side. Try to go on the left side. It's better. It's not as jerky as the right side when you're looking at it. When you're looking at the line, left side. I had to I had to look at it. I had to turn my
Yeah,
body
it's-
around.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would do some of the dark rides before you would do the Matterhorn?
I
Oh,
do
yeah.
the Matterhorn. Yeah, I wait. You wait.
Yes.
The line's never long, and it's
No,
single
but
rider.
like if I have to, okay, do the
Oh, if you
single
have to
rider on that one.
choose.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
could do single rider on it. That's my wife
Yeah.
and I always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
before we move to Tomorrowland, for the audience's benefit, the Toontown, which is where 38 is on the map, it basically is all under refurbishment and closed right now, except for Roger Rabbit, I think is open. No, oh, that's
all
closed too. Okay.
They closed
There-
the whole thing.
There is a show you can watch there. It's The Tale of the Lion King. It used to be at California Adventure, but Derek, you don't have time to see shows.
I
You
don't have
need
time
No.
to see a
It's
show.
not even good.
Oh, no, I have time
Yeah.
to see one show.
Not that one.
Well,
Yeah.
not
That's
that.
not it.
Yeah, Main Street Electric Marine.
No,
You're gonna
Tiki Room.
Tiki Room.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a show.
see- fair. I don't even think of that as a show. That's an
No.
attraction.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I would say, just for the audience's benefit, there's nothing right now in
In
Toontown
Toontown. Okay.
except for that one show.
And the Finding Nemo submarine ride is closed currently.
They're
Correct.
painting,
So-
they're painting them.
Jeez.
Yes.
And you
Closed
wait
all
on
the
it
time.
anyway. And you wait on it anyway. So.
Okay.
Which brings us
Moving
to
on,
Tomorrowland,
okay,
right?
moving on to Tomorrowland. I'm assuming Astro Orbiter is about the same.
Ours is worse.
Yeah.
Worse.
It's the
Wow.
worst. It's on
Okay.
the ground. You don't even take an elevator.
Oh, you don't get
No, you don't
No.
get. You're not
Dumb.
that high.
They
It's
moved
dumb.
dumb.
it.
Yeah.
It's specially designed to congest all the entry into.
It's the worst.
It's
That's
the
fair.
worst
because
place.
it's at
yeah.
44, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the vehicles are really, really tight.
Tight. Yeah,
too.
it's
not
uncomfortable.
And they
comfortable.
angle up so you're like leaning inwards.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
awful.
bad.
okay, they angle up worse than the ones that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
the
that's
worst. It's
okay.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's-
Skip it.
Star Tours is the same. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Same.
Okay.
Yes.
Buzz. It has the handheld
Different.
guns, but it's basically the same.
Slightly different. If
different. Ours is better. If you really love it, ours is better because you can do everything. Ours is
Okay.
better.
it's
Yeah.
different, I don't agree. It's better. It's different.
It's different. Okay.
It is kind of neat to be able to like pick up the guns
Yeah,
and
that's
aim
why
them
That would be
wherever you want.
amazing at Disney World, by the
That's why
way.
it's better here.
Yeah.
I
But,
still remember though on the Buzz Lightyear, I don't think they still do it. You used to, if you were online, they had a game you could play and you would pair up with someone in the park, and your combined scores would be the score the person in the park got.
Oh,
we're talking
cool.
like late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
So-
remember that, but
I didn't do that.
yeah, Buzz is low priority, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Steve
yeah.
says he likes
Disneyland
it
is
better, but
It is
okay.
better.
That may be one of those where
It's better, but
I
it's
go
not a priority.
Yeah.
where I go in on the second day type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they
If it's
still
short.
okay. Do they give the stickers for $9.99, $9.99, or the buttons like they do at Magic Kingdom?
No.
I've never gotten one
Ah.
at Magic Kingdom,
No.
so I don't know.
It's a
Oh,
glitch. It's a glitch here.
All you have to do at Magic Kingdom is if you max out your score, you stop at the little gift shop photo booth and show them a picture of your score, and they'll
No.
give you a little Galactic Hero sticker.
Oh, that's too much
that-
work.
No, there's none of that.
Okay,
And this is what Vicky says about Buzz. The responsiveness is better at D-Land.
response to okay,
Hmm.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So we've covered the monorail. Monorail's a no unless I need a break. Is the monorail okay? Gina, how hot's it gonna be?
Not hot. It's June gloom, so it'll get maybe 78.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is it-
Well, I don't know. We were there in August, but yeah, do you still get the marine layer in the morning?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's cold.
So-
It's 60s
So
in
you're
the
gonna
morning.
get
Cold
there
in the
in the morning, and it's gonna look like it's gonna be this awful weather
Yeah.
because they get this marine layer,
Let me look.
and it burns off
fog.
about what, like 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10, 9 or 10, just
9 or 10.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
so
Am I-
Forget about that.
Am I going to
It's
get much
cold
sea
at night.
breeze there?
yeah. A lot of sea breeze.
So you're going to be
Lot of sea breeze.
cold. You're going to be cold in the morning if you're wearing
Cold at
shorts
night.
and a t-shirt, and cold at night. Same for
Okay.
but in the middle of the
maybe.
day, you're going to be wanting to be. In
My
shorts and
wife might be
t-shirt.
cold at night.
The
Yeah.
high is 82, the low is 64. So
Okay.
it's nice.
And you
That's not
say
bad.
breezy and humid?
No humidity.
No humidity. No,
No
dry.
humidity.
No humidity.
Really? You're
Slight,
right next to
slight humidity, but no.
Okay.
We're Pacific Ocean.
There's no
cool. Our
humidity.
ocean's cool.
SoCal,
It's,
no
if you're
humidity.
you're comparing
Okay.
to Florida, there is no humidity.
no.
Okay,
You're not-
and I'm thinking breeze 10, 15 mile an hour, enough to keep the air moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're in Kansas. If it's blowing less than 10, it's not blowing.
Oh, then it
So-
depends.
It won't
It's not-
really feel like it's
breeze.
blowing for you.
Okay.
No.
As long as there's
No.
air moving, we'll be fine.
You're fine.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
Then Autopia, I'm assuming it's the same as the Indy Speedway.
No, ours has
Yeah.
little. Ours is stupid,
It's
but it has
different.
little Honda. It has little Osimo characters. It's cute. It's cute. You have little Osimo characters going through if you care about Osimo. He's a Honda.
Okay.
created.
I don't even know what that means.
I hate it because all you do is breathe in gasoline.
Oh, it's the same
Yeah,
gas fumes. Yeah.
it's to me it's the LA freeway simulator. So
Fair enough. And then the one we haven't mentioned yet, I'm assuming is an absolute must, is the Hyperspace Mountain.
Correct.
yes,
If it's still
100%.
hyperspace, it might change back to regular, but it's still worth
Even
it.
if
Either
it's
way.
even if it's regular,
It's still
if
better.
you're a Space Mountain fan,
Yes.
I'm not a Space Mountain fan at all, but Brian is, and Space Mountain Disneyland is his favorite. Hyperspace Mountain is even the cut above that. So, like,
Okay.
if you're a Space Mountain person at Disney World, you're gonna love the Disneyland version.
Yeah,
And
see,
for those
I'm
of you
not.
who don't know, the Hyperspace Mountain version is basically Star Wars projections
Overlay.
and music
Overlay, yeah.
inside
Yeah.
Space Mountain
Yeah.
Correct.
instead of the big chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
Yeah, you're not missing that much if you don't get Hyperspace Mountain
No.
Okay.
because it's the same ride. But I think it's way better of a version of
Way.
Space Mountain.
Way.
Yeah, the
better.
ride vehicles are completely different too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a real
Roller
roller
coaster.
coaster as opposed to a wild mouse that just
Bobsled.
turns left.
Okay.
I call it a
All right.
bobsled.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So
don't miss.
any other rides or experiences we haven't really covered at Disneyland yet? I can't think of any. I kind of went through the list. There's a couple
is
real.
Phantasmic open?
We're
Yes.
getting there. We will get
Yes,
the
night
nighttime
shows,
shows
yeah.
come later. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about the
So if
night
we're not
shows
going to talk
here.
about the nighttime shows, then yeah, I think we covered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next, we'll go across the football field or whatever over to
Grand Cow.
California Adventure. Grand Cow. No, I'm.
No,
No, DCA. Sorry. I'm thinking
DCA.
hotels. I'm
I
like,
don't, have, I don't have that much money, Gina, or that many
Yeah.
points. So again, we've got the Grand Cow kind of zoom in, and I'm going to drop us down for just a minute so we can see the whole picture. South is up on this map for those of you who aren't quite sure.
Yep.
It's all north
But
to me.
we will go ahead and start at the bottom. Buena Vista Street, from what I've seen, there isn't much.
Yeah, it's just
shops.
shops.
Shops, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shopping. Okay. So we move then over to Hollywoodland. The first one I come across is Philhar Magic. I'm assuming it's the same.
It's exactly the same.
It's exactly
Okay.
the same. You've got Crush over there as well. Turtle Talk with Crush.
Not
It's
over
the
there.
same.
Not over there. Crush isn't
Yeah,
over
it-
there, but yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is.
No. He's not in Hollywoodland. He's over at Animation, but that's okay.
No, he's at which is in Hollywoodland.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's
think
Hollywood.
Hollywoodland is Monsters Inc. Sorry.
No, Hollywoodland is 456.
No, it's 456 is Hollywoodland. Yeah.
Okay.
So Turtle Talk with Crush is a cool experience, but if you're somebody's been on a Disney cruise, you don't really need to
Or
do it
is it the
at
same as
parks.
Turtle Talk with Crush at Epcot?
It's exactly
Yes.
the same.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not something you need to do
Skip.
No.
because
Yeah.
you probably have done it. Yeah.
Gina, you mentioned it. The Animation Academy and the Sorcerer's Workshop.
It's cute to go in there if you have time. If you don't have time,
Is it
The
a
Animation
show and
Academy is drawing. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember. It used to be where Launch Bay is, and now it's out at Animal Kingdom.
yeah.
Okay.
You've done the
It's
drawing.
basically you draw a character. I would not. I mean, we like it, but I wouldn't bother with your
If
show.
you don't have
stay.
time, yeah.
Okay, that's
Just if you're
fair.
hot. It's just if you're hot,
Okay.
it's a good break.
The Monsters Inc. ride.
I love
Yes.
it, and it's buddy pass. You don't have to wait in the line. You just the two of you go to the guy. You say, "Do you have a buddy pass?" They say yes. You go through the exit and you sit and you get to enjoy Monsters Inc.
Okay, cool. And unlike Laugh Floor, this is an actual dark ride, correct?
It's a dark ride.
Okay. All right.
Superstar limo.
Okay. Working on a round to the Avengers campus. Now, knowing me, I'm not a huge Avengers fan.
That doesn't matter.
I'm not a huge Tower of Terror fan.
That also doesn't matter.
Mission Breakout.
Well, do you not like Tower of Terror because you do not like drop rides?
It's not a ride that's worth an hour wait to me. It's not a ride that's worth an hour to hour and a half wait.
So if this was still Tower of Terror, I would tell you to skip it. As Mission Breakout, I think it's fantastic. I think
Do you like
they took
70s rock? It's like there's so many things.
It's such good music. It's such good atmosphere. The storyline is fun.
It's
I
cute.
personally really love this ride, and for me, it's not about the drops, but it's about sort of the whole experience.
Okay.
Well, and I also think the drops are better at DCA than they are at Hollywood Studios. So it is a slightly different ride.
Okay.
To me,
Story
better. It's better in every way.
Fair enough.
To me.
Okay.
don't agree with that, but it's
The story's better.
It's they took an inferior version of Tower of Terror and made it a superior other ride. But I like Florida's Tower of Terror better than Mission Breakout.
Okay. And Steve says Guardians is a must.
Yeah. I would agree.
Now, the other big ride there is the Spider-Man Web Slingers.
Definitely do it once.
Okay. From what I think I have read, tell me if I'm wrong on this one. It's basically Midway Mania, but you're throwing the spider webs.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a similar concept to Midway Mania, but better. And you're doing it with just your arms. There's no gun. It is a really cool. It has a cool pre-show. It's a really cool ride. I would say for sure.
And a single rider.
Yeah, I would say either do single rider or pay for the lightning lane.
Even if we've only got one day.
Single rider.
If there's single rider and your wife is not unhappy with you riding separately on things, always take advantage of single rider.
We've been around for 20. We've been together for 20 years. I can't think of anything that.
Single rider. It's worth it.
But if you don't make it on that first day to
that would be
those
something
rides,
for me to go back to.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If you can't, same with Guardians. If you guys don't end up fitting it in on that first day, really, because you may not get much done at DCA. You know, you might get a few things at DCA.
There's a couple priorities we'll talk about here in just a minute at DCA.
Okay. So but if this is not one of your priorities at DCA, either of these two rides, then I would say for sure. And you want to spend a little bit of time in Avengers Campus walking around because there's a Spider-Man show that happens up above.
Really cool.
That I hear is a if I have time, don't miss it.
There's a Doctor Strange demonstration thing. There's a couple. The's a lot of character
all your favorite stuff, Derek.
I know, but it is pretty cool. I know Derek is not a big Avengers person, but it's a really cool land and one of the best places to eat, in my personal opinion. Pim's is great, and I would highly recommend to eat lunch there and potentially to get drinks at Pim's lab. So
and I said we'll circle back around to most of this stuff on food.
Yes, on
here
food.
In just a little bit.
Yeah.
Going on then to looking at my notes to the next land that I can guarantee that is one of our two priorities at DCA is Cars Land.
Yes.
This is, I'm not exaggerating when I have probably seen Cars 1,000 times or more, thanks to my son.
You need to be at night. You need to be there
night?
at dusk. When the lights come on, they do the song.
What time is that?
Sunset. So you have to look at your clock. You have to use your phone. Find the thing that says sunset.
I'll disagree with that. I don't think it's that necessary to see the lights come on. I will agree with Gina's. I will agree with Gina's comment that it is definitely worth seeing at night.
Okay.
I just don't think it's necessary to see. We went and saw when they turned on the lights, and I wasn't as impressed with that as I thought I was going to be.
I kind of agree with Pete on this one. I love it's cool to see Cars Land at night, but I don't think you need to be there for the lights turning on. And if it works out better to be there during the day, that's fine too.
I am a fan of the first Cars movie. I'm not a massive fan, but I'm a
I
fan
didn't
of the
say I
first
was a
Cars
massive
movie.
fan.
Oh,
I said I
okay.
was forced to watch it
this-
1,000 times.
This
Oh,
land,
same.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
this land
this
is the
kid.
best land that Disney has created in the United States.
Okay.
100% agree.
It beats Star Wars.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Because they blew it with Star Wars and didn't make it an existing place. They
Yes.
built here something right out of a
Radiator
movie.
Springs.
They built Radiator Springs right out of a movie. And if you've seen the movie, which you had, there's so much to look at, and it's
Okay.
extremely cool. The Radiator Springs ride is amazing. It's
It's
probably
closed
my
right-
favorite
it's
ride.
closed right now.
It's
though.
What?
closed.
Broken.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Yeah, it broke
What?
down before Memorial Day weekend
Yeah.
And it's
because
not
there
back
was,
up.
and it's not back up. There was a ride
Well, now
vehicle smoking.
you're gonna have
so,
to go out again.
And now it says closed for refurbishment.
Yeah, so we don't know.
I don't
It's we have no idea when it's going to reopen. I would 100% would say if it's open, it's a
If it's
must
open.
do.
If it's open, that is probably our number 1 or number 2 priority
rider.
in the entire
Single rider.
Disneyland resort.
Yes,
Okay.
My
and yeah,
what-
single rider because it's 3 and 3. So
Yeah,
single
and
rider.
you'll
Okay.
most likely ride in the same car. That happens
Okay.
quite frequently.
Okay.
My wife and I did it 3 times in like 40 minutes. The opening summer during in single rider.
As single
Yeah,
rider.
Single rider
yeah.
is the way to go.
My boy and I discovered single rider on test track this year just because we
Yeah.
hadn't had a
Okay.
chance to do a single rider beforehand. And yeah, as long as you don't mind designing the cars on that one, test track single rider is the way to go too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and Radiator Springs is test track but better.
Yes. Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
story.
Okay. Do I need
Way
to
better.
bother trying to ride either Mater or Luigi?
Luigi, yes, I think but it can be a day 2 thing. It's not a priority day 1.
Yeah,
I don't think you
it's-
need to do Maters because Maters is exactly like alien swirling saucers. Luigi
I would
is
even say
Mater's
Luigi's
better.
is not great.
Okay.
I like.
Okay.
It's cute, but
It's
I
okay.
would not. It would be like a lower priority, more of a priority than things that are existing in Walt Disney World, but
Okay.
probably towards the bottom of the list of
Day
original
2.
attractions.
Day 2 if you have time. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, moving on over to the Pacific Wharf. The only thing I could find was the bakery tour. I'm guessing is a skip.
Yeah,
Skip.
skip. The
Yeah.
Pacific
Food.
Wharf is just a food
It's food.
area.
Food.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
From-
Then we
Switch
move
to-
on over to Pixar Pier. First one, Incredicoaster is it as much of a must as I think it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, do you like roller
You've
coasters?
never done it, and you
Love
like
roller coasters.
Yeah.
Love roller
Then yes,
coasters.
Yeah. If
This
you've
is
never done
awesome.
it, you like roller coasters. It's a must.
Yeah,
It's
this
a
is
lot.
this is my favorite Disney coaster.
Okay.
I love
Awesome.
Mm.
I'm assuming Midway
Everything
Mania
else
is the
there,
same.
skip.
it. Skip. Yeah, skip.
Midway Mania, you can skip. Critter Coaster is just a Critter
Yeah.
Carousel is just a carousel. You can
The
skip.
Pixar Pal Around and the Emotional Whirl are just skips. what I've
Emotional
seen.
Emotional World is for sure a skip. The Pixar Pal Around.
That's the
if
big.
you-
That's the big
Oh,
roller
that's the
coaster.
wheel. No, that's the
It's the
wheel behind
wheel.
you.
It's
The wheel behind you. If you like Ferris wheels and they have a separate swinging car,
Oh, dear
you
Lord.
like down with that?
Yes, the swinging one is the
You
one
couldn't
that
you
that's
couldn't
exactly
pay
what I
me
was
to go
gonna
on
say.
those swinging cars.
It's
Yes.
worth it once. It's worth
No.
it once.
Okay.
I agree. I
Okay.
actually think the Pixar Pal Around is a yes with if you like the swinging cars.
If
If
you
you,
like Ferris
just
wheels.
like the stationary cars, it's
No.
just another
Okay.
Ferris wheel.
Okay. Steve says
Si-
a yes to Incredicoaster, and the Pal
It
Around is
is.
also known as the swinging is the Wheel of
Wheel
Death.
Because it
Yeah.
does. It freaks you out, but it's worth it once for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Wait,
but Walt-
I
with
won't
my
go on it.
acrophobia, with my acrophobia, I'm probably gonna skip it.
Okay.
Acrophobia, guys, it's not the fear of heights; it's the fear of falling from heights.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So
want it.
once you get on Incredicoaster, I would say to take the walk around Pixar Pier so that you can see that all
Yes.
because all you need to do
Yeah,
is walk
that's fair.
past them. So
Yeah.
you'll walk past sometimes they
Okay.
have Pixar character opportunities in that corner as well, kind
Okay.
of behind where the
the
Ferris wheel is.
Incredibles are usually
Yeah, the
there.
Incredibles. Yeah. So and then you'll pass by Emotional Whirlwind. You'll see what that looks like. You'll pass by Symphony Swings. You'll pass by the Golden Zephyr. So all of those
Like,
are pass
Okay.
bys.
Goofy
Goofy
Sky
Um,
School.
Do I? Okay, Sky School. Do I skip it?
It's cute. Dream, what's the
um,
one?
Is it Barnstormer? Is it
No,
Barnstormer?
no, what's
it's
the one
not.
from?
It's better than
what's
Barnstormer.
Dino World. What's the Dino World one with the
Yes.
mousetrap?
Yeah, it's
Really?
Primeval
It's
World.
one of those
That-
mouse. It's one of those
Yeah.
mouse coasters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
if you
okay,
like
but
those-
it's an off the shelfer.
It would be definitely a day tour.
Single rider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where if you
Single.
go to any carnival, like you can get on a ride
Okay.
that's just like it, but this one is themed for Goofy. That's
Okay.
really
Does it spin like the Primeval Whirl ones
No.
did though?
No,
Okay.
No.
no.
You just
That-
know you're gonna fall off.
That's a
the
point.
thing.
That's a point in its favor.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like Steve loves it. My son is obsessed with Goofy Sky School, so we always have to
Okay.
go on it, but that's because he's obsessed with it.
I
I would skip it.
Sam, I totally understand the being obsessed with certain rides. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I know.
And I'm assuming Little Mermaid's the same.
Exactly.
Same. Skip it.
Okay. All right. And then we are on to Grizzly Peak, the Grizzly River Run.
I
That's-
like
There's a
this, but I like this ride, but it's also another wet ride.
Yes.
It's not, you're not going to get soaked quite as much as Splash Mountain, but you can get pretty soaked. So if you don't want to walk around soaking wet, but if you do have a poncho, this is actually one where the poncho will work versus Splash Mountain. The
Yeah.
poncho doesn't work because
Okay.
your feet still get
So
soaked.
you get
I
as
feel like
wet on
they-
this as you do on Kali River Rapids.
No,
No.
not
Okay.
at all. It spins
It-
a lot though. So if you can't handle the spinning, it spins a lot. You
whatever.
don't realize it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's way better than Cali River Rapids. I like this ride a lot.
Yeah.
You
Roulette.
are unlikely to get soaked, but you could get soaked. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds
Sam's
like one-
advice is really good.
Sounds
Bring
like
a
day two
poncho.
for me. Sounds like it because I
Yeah.
don't mind walking around a little bit, especially if I've like brought sandals in my bag type
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
roulette of how wet for sure.
Well,
Okay.
and there are quite just outside, I think, of Grizzly Peak, there are some
Are there
lockers,
lockers?
you can rent.
Okay.
So that's
Yes.
the pro tip
Okay.
for day
Rent
two.
or free? Are they rent or are they actually free?
rent.
I believe rent. I
Oh.
believe they're rent.
But they have dryers,
At,
I think.
See, at World, you get them for free.
No,
Yeah.
there's no free in California.
Okay.
I like Steve's comment. Roulette of how
Yeah.
wet you
Yeah.
will get.
Roulette of wet.
And then
But if you have a
Um,
poncho, you don't need to worry
Right,
too much
that's
about
true.
that.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
okay. And then Soarin', I'm assuming as long as they have gone back to Soarin' around the world, it's
It's a
exactly the
world, right?
same.
Correct.
If it's
Yeah.
California, go jump on it.
It won't
Yeah.
be California because they just did it for Food and Wine,
That's
and
what she
it's
said.
Okay.
in April, and right now it's
Okay,
back to
yeah,
World.
it won't be
so
back then.
It won't be
Okay.
back. Yeah.
Don't waste your day.
Anything else I'm missing at California Adventure?
No, the
No.
big thing really is Cars Land, Incredicoaster, and the two
Guardians.
um
And Guardians.
yeah, Guardians and Web
The
Slingers.
Avengers. Yeah. Basically Avengers
okay.
Campus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Steve-
World of Color, but I know we haven't talked night shows.
We're not quite to
Yeah.
nighttime yet. Steve says he thinks the first hour is free, and then after that
Check
you
it
get
out.
charged.
Yeah, check it out. It's single
Yeah.
rider
Yes.
too, so you don't have to wait an hour to worry
Okay.
either. So that's single rider.
And I will say, from what I hear, they do a whole lot more single rider here than they do at World.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, especially that second day, I'm planning on hitting a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm
Be-
open to close
You
individually.
can single ride.
Yeah.
You can single ride almost everything. You can single ride Incredicoaster. You can single ride
Okay.
the Rapids. You
yeah,
can
especially-
single ride.
Especially at this park, California Adventure,
Yeah.
almost
Web
everything is
Slingers.
single rider.
You can.
Between
Most
Genie
things.
Plus and single rider,
You'll do everything.
you can do so
Okay.
much at these parks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So next, and we're going to go ahead and start here just because I have the map pulled up. Food. From what I've heard, at Disney World, how if you've wanted reservations, if you want decent food, you have to get a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, this is
I'm
not
assuming
Yeah.
from what I hear that is their food is much better here at Disneyland.
Quick
Food
serve
is-
is way better.
Yeah. I personally think the quick serve is better at DCA than it is at Disneyland
Yes,
Park.
I agree.
Yes.
There's multiple quick serve that I would recommend. I would recommend in Cars Land, Flo's V8 Cafe. It's
Flows
excellent.
is really good.
In Avengers Campus, as I said, I would
Pim's.
recommend Pim's or the shawarma truck.
Yep.
That's
Shawarma?
Really
Shawarma?
good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the
really
shawarma.
good.
Okay.
So
There's two.
obviously you need to eat a churro because the churros in California are different
Okay,
than the churros.
Doesn't matter at which park.
No, they're
No.
the same in
Okay.
between the parks. They're the same, but they're different than the ones at Disney World, and they're better here.
No
Way
ice cream
better.
here. And no ice cream here. Ice cream
Oh,
is
yeah.
frozen, solid. Do not get ice cream here.
So
Yeah.
don't get my Mickey bar here.
No, it's frozen,
No.
solid. Just
Ooh,
break
if
your
you
teeth.
if you want, go to Clarabelle's, which is
Yeah.
just to the right of the end of
Yes.
What the heck is that called?
Buena
there?
Vista Street. It's
Buena Vista
next
Street.
to Starbucks. It's right next to Starbucks.
Yeah, it's right next to
You get
Starbucks.
cones.
Carabelle's. They make a homemade ice cream sandwich.
Bar.
Is it?
The bar. No,
ice
it's a
cream
bar. And they dip
that's
it hand dipped.
Dryers. That's Dryers
hand
ice
dipped.
cream.
It's
Ooh,
Dryer's ice cream, but they make a hand dipped
Yes, so good.
made
But-
ice cream bar. That if you want ice cream, that's the place to go.
That's
the place to do it.
And
Okay.
corn dog from Corn Dog Castle, very
Right,
good. Their corn
over on
dogs
Pixar Pier.
Yes.
Yeah, you can also get a beer over by by Paradise Gardens Park. There's like a little vendor that's got pretzels and beer, and that's a good spot for a snack.
Yeah, and the Paradise, or not the what is that? Pacific Wharf, is it? It's like a food court. There's a lot of good options there as well.
and we have really good Mexican food, so I would get the Mexican food in California.
Well, but why would I go to if I'm going to be out and about for a couple other days in Southern California? Why would I get Mexican?
No,
here?
you'll be closer to Mexico.
Yep.
The lemon soft serve is really good too. It's at it's the pier.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would not do like the Chinese food or the Mexican food at Pacific Wharf or the bread place. I would do Flo's and Pim's.
Yeah.
I think those are better options.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming as at Disney World, mobile order as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Does it work better here than at World though? Because when we were at World, you mobile order and you still have to wait like half an hour.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
When I went over spring break, that's how it was.
It depends. So yesterday we had to wait half an hour.
Yeah, so what we tend to do is Brian and we tend to mobile order like a couple hours sometimes before. You don't have to do that, but it just makes it really easy, and then you don't have to worry about it. Whereas if you do it closer, I would say you're gonna want to give yourself like a half hour kind of head start, and I'm gonna be over near that ride.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
And you can always reschedule if you need to push it back. Usually those windows are available, but if it's a crowded day at the parks, it may be that the window ends up being an hour out. And so,
And for me, that's fine. It's when my window opens, though, I want to be able to get my food quickly.
Oh, you'll get your food within
5 you'll get your food quick. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't generally wait too long for them to assemble your order.
No.
Okay.
It's just sometimes it's an hour out.
Okay. And I won't have to wait 45 minutes for a Dole Whip.
No, you can mobile order.
Well, no, even mobile ordering, sometimes it takes 15, 20 minutes.
They'll have it right there. They'll have it right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. But, okay. Going back real quick to the park, for the two parks real quick, hopping's at 1. Is that what I've heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go back then to Disneyland. So sounds like we'll be doing at least a quick service lunch here. If this is the park we go to first, suggestions for a quick service lunch that will then let us get we won't get stuck back at Oga's and Galaxy's Edge type thing. So
yeah, Gina's gonna give you recommendations because I really don't like I don't like almost any of the food.
So Plaza Inn, it's like number 7 or not. It's one of those back here. Or no, it's A, B, C, D. It's F for G. It's called
right
Plaza
of the end
Inn.
of Main Street. Yeah.
Okay.
That has the best. It's like a cafeteria style. They have really good fried chicken, really good salads, really good, just like a good.
And it's quick service.
It's quick service cafeterias. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's really good. If you just want a burger all the way back, it's 25-ish. That's
Double D.
Yeah, back in Fantasyland, it's called Red Rose Tavern. They have really good burgers.
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
They're different kind of burgers. They're they have cauliflower burgers. They have we have a lot of vegetarian stuff. So they have that kind of thing there.
That's not selling me.
Oh, it's so good. It's cauliflower steak. It's so good. Okay, but they have an Angus burger. That's
you know what?
Good.
Sorry, we just lost Gina.
She's a Californian.
Then they have in New Orleans Square. They have lots of great choices. French Market has a really good po' boy sandwich. They have
shrimp or oyster.
Shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have the what's the name of the sandwich? The Monte Cristo.
Yeah, the Monte Cristo.
Is it better than the one at the Plaza in Disney World?
100%.
Yes.
The one at Plaza Disney World's terrible.
It is terrible.
But yeah, that's my pick in Disneyland is the I forget the name of the New Orleans quick service, but that's really good.
So my pick ends up being the hot dog at the refreshment corner.
Okay.
Okay.
They
That
have,
works.
and then Jolly Holiday Bakery has some great sandwiches and soups and salads.
Where is that?
Um,
That's across. That's letter
Is that H?
C.
C,
Letter C
or
or H.
Or
Yeah.
no, I think
It'd be
it's
H.
C
I
is
believe it's
Refreshment
H. Okay.
Corner.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
it's H.
All right.
And
he says
also
sandwiches,
for a
red
quick-
raspberry macaroon.
Okay.
Okay. So Pete,
For a quick snack, I like the skewers at Bengali Barbecue.
Yeah, those are everything at Bengal Barbecue is
Which
very
is where?
good.
Oh, I
That
haven't had
is
that.
Fantasyland.
Adventureland. No, Adventureland.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Adventureland.
it's
Yeah.
either
like
so it's
12
either it's either I or J.
I think it's K.
Okay.
K.
I think it's
K, yeah.
K.
That's way back there.
Okay. Okay.
And they have
Awesome.
really good skewers, and you can get a meal now. They have a rice. You can get skewers with rice and a whole meal.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But if we're snacking our way around,
Yeah.
might as well work that way.
And then Bao
Um,
Buns at the Tropical Hideaway
oh,
next to the
okay.
Delight stand.
Okay. Awesome. And then as of course we can get our Dole Whips to go watch Tiki Birds.
Yes.
Um,
That's over there.
okay.
And there's like a waiting area. So you know how in Florida they have the
The pre-show.
pre-show? Their pre-show is a bunch of the tiki gods,
And they start
but you
doing
can go
stuff.
you can go into the pre-show and you can actually order. At least you used to be able to order your
can.
Dole Whip in the pre-show.
You can, but it's one order.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've heard that the mobile order works very, very well at Disneyland. As a Disney World massive veteran who loved the original FastPass system, where you actually had to go to the parks, learned to accept the new FastPass Plus system, and cannot believe that nobody sees how broken Genie Plus is at Magic Kingdom unless you really know how to use it. Is Genie Plus at Land worth it?
For one day, yes, but the second day you don't have to. So the one day I would do it with Amy to make sure you can get those e-ticket rides.
Yeah, I agree with Gina. I mean, listen, Genie Plus is probably better at Disneyland than Disney World. I still hate it and don't know why they replaced Max Pass when Max Pass wasn't broken. And it's very similar to Max Pass, but not as good. Like there's a few features you had on Max Pass.
What was Max Pass?
Oh,
It was basically
Genie Plus, but you could do more than one ride.
You can do it more than once. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it more than once. You had like better windows of booking things.
Yeah.
It was just
You didn't have to wait the hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you wanted to do the
it's
same
an hour and
ride,
okay, so it's an hour and a half at Land because it's two
like,
at World.
No, it's like 2 hours. I think
Oh.
it's 2.
yeah, but from what I understand, most of the time for Genie Plus, there you can actually use it like it should be able to be used, which is I can book this an hour out, and then you book it, and then you go ride it, and then you book something else,
Yes.
and you can book
Yes.
7 or 8 rides in a day versus
Right, you don't have to
7 or
wait
8
2
good
hours
rides in a day.
Yeah, you don't have to wait 2 hours if you use your pass. If
Right,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
use your pass, if you book something and it happens to be like 3 hours,
4
out,
hours
like,
out, 2
yeah,
hours later, you can book
right.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
Steve does bring an interesting point.
Yes.
That includes your photo pass.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
to
pay
me,
$5 more,
that tells me at least one of us should get it the day with Amy and I there, because that way we have the photos.
It's
but you
it's
need
not
it both.
that much money. You're there for one day.
You
You
need to
get
both
it.
get
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
both get it.
Okay, totally. Okay, so assuming we get it, Disneyland, what are my Genie Plus priorities?
Space Mountain.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, but Disneyland Park? Are you saying?
Disneyland.
Disneyland Park,
Disneyland
Space,
Space
just
Mountain.
space.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Space
Space Mountain.
Mountain,
If you want to do
Indiana
Big
Jones.
Thunder.
Oh, Big
Indiana
Thunder.
Jones, Haunted Mansion.
Okay,
Um,
are any of those individual Lightning Lane?
No, the only thing that's
Only
individual
Rise of
is
Resistance.
Rise of the
Rise.
Resistance.
And you could do that anywhere.
Yeah, no. Okay. How about at DCA?
Guardians, Incredicoaster. You could use it for everything. Grizzly Run. You could use it for everything over there.
Basically, use it for whatever we don't want to do single rider on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Steve says Genie Plus is 2.5. Is 2. Max Pass is 1.5. Okay.
Okay.
Steve says, yeah, Indiana Jones is what he would use it on, definitely.
I have
Okay,
to say, the one time we used MaxPass 3 years ago, whenever it was literally like you booked something like 30 minutes away. You went, you rode it, and then you booked the next thing 30 minutes away. You went and rode it.
Yeah.
It was so good. I don't think this is quite as good as that.
No,
But
it's not.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like those dark rides in Fantasyland, none of those have it. So those are good to do like in between things.
Well, that's why I say rope drop them.
First thing, I agree. Get them
because it's the
and
only,
get your fast pass for space while you're like doing those.
Exactly. So yeah, book your fast pass. If if you get there right at rope drop and you skip Peter Pan, you can probably do all the other dark rides within an hour or a little bit.
Easily an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
And none of them have.
Go to Alice first.
Do Alice first because that's always the longest line.
Yeah, Alice and then Snow White.
Snow White.
Peter Pan's
Mr. Toad, and then Pinocchio.
It doesn't matter
Pinocchio's
which
5
order
minutes
between Pinocchio.
Okay. And the Storybook Canals closes throughout the day, so you want to get on that too because those canals open and close as the parade route goes.
Okay. Do I do that Storybook or do we do Alice first?
Alice.
Okay.
Alice is first because
Storybook doesn't open as early as everything else, so it might not be open. Yeah. You might have to wait till later in the day to do
Storybook
it.
has weird times.
Okay. And I mean, worst case scenario is I can come back to Storybook the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
So
in DCA, you need to use, as Steve is saying, you need to use it on Guardians, and then you if you want to pay for the Lightning Lane on Web Slingers.
Web Slingers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You don't have to. You can. Yes. I agree with Gina. You can single rider it, and that's a good way to do it. But
assuming that they reopen Radiator Springs, is that a paid Lightning Lane, or is that?
Yes, it's an L.
That's a paid Lightning.
That's
lane.
paid. Okay.
Yeah.
And
so I would just do single.
Really?
I would disagree with that. That's a good enough ride. You may want to ride together. I would. The first time I would maybe consider paying for it.
Okay.
Again,
and then if we want to go back,
you're talking about you're there for one day.
Yeah.
You just suck it up and pay. But if you really don't care, then just do single rider. But single rider can get for that ride.
Yes, it can get long.
20, 30 minutes.
It can get 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
20 minutes versus the hour and a half. So not worth it.
Versus 90. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what we haven't touched on yet, nighttime spectaculars. As I said, Main Street Electrical Parade is a non-negotiable. Okay. That's at either 8:45 or 10:45. Okay. Would you do... Okay. How close is Fantasmic at Land to World?
So
they're totally different.
They are
very different.
Okay.
So here's where I would rank the nighttime stuff to see. Admittedly, I'm not a big fan of Main Street Electrical Parade.
Okay, that's fair.
I would say World of Color is the must see. Fantasmic is great and very different, so I would put that second. And then I would probably put Main Street Electrical Parade, and I would do the fireworks. The fireworks are okay.
Fireworks are last.
But I would put them last.
Okay.
Yeah, fireworks are last for sure.
So I would, if you can only see one thing other than the parade, I would see World of Color.
Ooh, but that's far. That's the only problem.
It's just
because I don't know what the timing is.
I would have World of Colors at 9. Main Street Electrical Parade's at 10:45.
Are you going to be there the separate night?
I will be, but for Amy.
No, for Amy, just do Main Street Electrical Parade and fireworks. If you are going to be there the second night, I would go see. If I were you, I would go see World of Color.
Okay,
I disagree. I would if World of Color is at 9 and the Main Street Electrical Parade is 10:45. You can do that.
How long is World of Color? How long is World of Color?
30 minutes.
20
minutes. 28 minutes. It's listed.
It's like 30. Yeah, it's like 30.
But it's like it's not the show. It's the getting out through the crowds.
It's getting out when they close. That's
and then getting back into Disneyland Park because you have to go through the ticket gates to get into Disneyland Park, and a lot of people are coming back in to do the parade.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I personally think do them on separate nights, and Hippos.
I just think
but
World of
maybe
Color
I'll
is
have to miss
so
one.
World of
good.
Color is so good. I know we just
It's
saw it.
so
Okay.
good.
I know it's so good.
You know, and if you haven't seen it before,
It's just hard. It's just hard, and he really loves Main Street Electrical Parade. He's gonna get a bad view.
Well, okay. Then that goes on to the next step.
you
Gina?
really think so though? Because I mean, you can get from. You really think it would take more than a half hour
It just
to get out
depends
of?
how long that ticket line is and how many people are crossing over. Excuse me.
So
On that
here's-
note,
so
you guys,
here's what
I've
you-
got a
here-
jet, but I'm going to just say, listen
Yeah.
to these two experts over here,
What-
because they know what
yeah.
they're talking about on this nighttime
Yeah.
stuff much better than I do. But
Okay.
I personally loved World of Color, so that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave
All right.
it
Yeah.
as.
Thanks,
All right.
Sam.
I would say like. Here's how I would do it if because you really want Main Street Electric Parade. World of Color, leave maybe after 20 minutes. Maybe don't stay for the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
Book
that's
out
a
of
good
there.
idea.
Book out of there before everybody else does.
I can tell you when to leave too.
Okay. When do I leave?
You leave after the Pirates of the Caribbean. You leave right after that because the rest is kind of.
Is it back to the original version more or less?
Mhm.
Yes, completely. Stay for the Pirates of the
That's
Caribbean,
perfect.
and then
Yeah, then leave because
And
the
that's-
rest is kind of just melody parts and a little bit of fountainy stuff. That's a great
Yep.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going to pull up our map again. So World of Color, I'm assuming is where 24 is, right? That's the standing area
I
for
can't
World
even
of
see
Color.
it.
I can't
Yeah.
see
It's
either.
in that big lagoon there, right?
Yes.
It's
Where
it's
is- where-
the little green stripes.
Yeah, that's 24. That's the
Yeah.
watching. That's the watching area,
Mhm.
which is now
It's like a stage.
it's
There's like
it's a virtual queue.
okay.
So stand near the back of that probably.
Yes.
And
There's a
then
little bunch of benches back there. Yeah.
Okay.
Stand
And
near
then
the
go
benches.
through Pacific Wharf or go through Grizzly Peak.
Grizzly Peak will be less crowded. You go
Okay.
around and you go around Soren and get to the front.
Yeah, it makes
Okay.
it look like Pacific Wharf is shorter, but it's not really.
It's not.
I
There's too
I
many
would say
people.
go through.
It's,
Now, looking at this though,
Yeah.
is there an exit next to Soren?
no.
That's
that
not
goes.
an
That
exit?
takes you into Grand Cal.
Okay.
I mean, it's an exit, but
It
it's not
makes
better.
it, but you can't. It won't take you to Disneyland.
Okay.
Right.
You understand what I'm looking at, though.
Yes, there is
Yeah,
one
no.
by Soren.
It is
So-
an exit, but it takes you into the Grand California.
Yes, it takes
Okay.
you to the hotel
So
directly.
you go around Grizzly Peak and past Soren to get out.
Yeah, you
Yes.
pass Soren, then
Okay.
you go back down. You go back
down
down
Buena
Buena
Vista
Vista
Street.
Buena
It's
Vista.
really from the lagoon out the entrance to the park is probably under 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's really not that big a park.
It's just
Yeah.
the crowds. It's just dodging the people. But if you take that Grizzly Peak right when
Right. But if he
when
leaves
Pirates
if he leaves before the show's over.
yes, right when the Pirates of
Okay.
the Caribbean part ends.
And I'm assuming take
Yeah.
the main path through Grizzly Peak, not these little
Yes.
random
you can't.
trails.
Those
Okay.
will be
you can-
closed.
yeah, you
Okay.
can just follow it.
Okay. And then, okay, so we're coming back in. Where do we watch Main Street Electrical Parade from?
And the best parade spot I had was down by Jolly Holiday down by
Kind of so on the hub, basically.
yeah.
Okay. Which side of the hub does it take?
Oh,
Right
it
side.
goes on the right. But if you go to Jolly Holiday, that's right where it connects, and then you get to see all the floats as they turn the corner, which is really cool.
Okay. And then it goes back through like number 3-ish. And
Yeah.
then back past Matterhorn and back to the right of Small World.
Yeah,
Okay. And the 11 o'clock
Is that the
parade.
direction it goes? I thought it comes
that's
the
how
other
it
way.
goes. It goes back to hide back there.
Oh, it
during-
goes.
Yeah.
All right. The second one
Like a
comes
show.
from right.
Yeah.
Comes from.
So the second one comes from. So if I'm on Main Street, I'll actually have a little bit of extra time.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
the second one
no,
comes from Main
Comes from
Street.
Main. The second one comes from Main.
Second one comes from Main Street. So we need
Yeah.
to make sure we're out ahead of it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you're gonna have a long day, buddy.
I know.
Well, they have to
Especially
stay
because-
anyway because of the parking.
Yeah.
Well,
That tram to get out. That tram to get back.
Especially because I'm going to be on a 2-hour time difference. So midnight's going to feel like 2 in to me.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got to drive an
So-
hour and a half back down to
But-
Carlsbad.
for one day, I think I can do it. Because 8 a.m. is not going to will feel like 10 a.m. for me. So I'll basically be like,
so I got a crazy idea for you guys. Why don't you get a hotel for one night and then like drive her back in the morning?
Well, I will say that Sunday we were planning on going exploring. We were not going to do Disneyland, but we were going to go but if that would be, we get up, we go down, we go take a little bit more time driving down the coast and then go down, like have a late lunch, early supper down in San Diego.
So she doesn't need to be back for something on Sunday.
No, Sunday's off also.
Yeah, I would definitely consider that. Just getting someplace on Harbor. I mean, you can find a decent hotel for
inexpensive.
$150 a night. Yeah,
120 if you look and you don't care, like it's just a place to sleep, for sure.
As long as it's clean.
You could even go further down, like stay in Garden Grove, and that would be even less. And you're still 10 minutes away rather than an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Okay. Well, definitely consider that then, because.
And then you could park at the hotel, I would think.
Mm-hmm. And that'd be better too for the whole thing.
Which they'll still charge parking, but
you can take the shuttle, and the shuttle's way quicker. You don't have to stay till 2 a.m. trying to get on that dumb bus.
And so then, from what I heard, start the process at land, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Go land, then DCA, then back to land, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
What day is this?
Saturday.
No, what day Saturday though?
It's the 18th.
I'm still in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at.
I won't have my tour guide there.
Yeah,
looking at hotels.
Look Garden
Grove.
I'm just
looking at hotels.
Look Santa Ana.
Well,
look Buena Park.
Hold on.
Yeah. But look,
Wyndham Anaheim 136. Oh, this is I got to get I got the date right. No, I don't have the date right. Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah, June 18th. But even ventures further south, because I think that'd be fine.
It is a Saturday, so it might be a little more expensive.
Okay.
But venture further south, that'd be a little.
Let's see what this has.
The Holiday Inn, that's really close. The Holiday Inn's really close.
Holiday Inn's 179, I see.
Yeah, Holiday Inn, that's a good location. You just could walk. That's right by the Toy Story lot.
Anaheim Main Gate 107.
Oh, perfect. And it's close.
Where?
Yeah.
Because I'm
Main Gate's on Catella, right?
It is on. No, this says it's on Ball.
Okay, yeah, it's really close. Ball Road's
it's
the
right.
back
It's
way.
right next to the Mickey and Friends parking structure.
Yeah,
I'm on the.
right
I'm
in the
on
back
the.
way.
Oh, you're on that side.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
I'm looking the Anaheim Main Gate.
Howard Johnson's 154.
That's a nice hotel too.
That's
really
a nice hotel.
Where's that?
That's on the other side of Catella, Harbor and Catella.
Yeah, you could easily walk from there.
You could walk. That's a 5-minute walk. Jake did that walk because that's where he stayed.
Yeah.
Not the Hojo, but right next to it. That's a 5-minute walk.
Okay.
That's great. Oh yeah, do this, please, for not waiting and hanging out. That'd be great.
And for
I can't believe we're doing this as a podcast because we're basically just like.
Well, yeah. I may cut this part off the podcast. But,
that's great. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
yeah. Okay.
That's the best
and
advice.
Really for those prices, that's not bad.
No.
So
it'll
be totally worth it that you can like crash right at because
yes.
Because the thing is like driving there in the morning, that's not going to be that bad because you're going to be excited and everything like that.
Driving after the scariest moment I have ever had, one of the scariest moments I've ever had driving is we were at SeaWorld one day down in Orlando and we're staying back over by Daytona, which those of you who don't know is about an hour and a half drive because if you go straight line, it's all under construction. Otherwise, you have to go out to the coast and then up. And I was driving along. We were almost home, and I woke up, pointed at the guardrail of a bridge.
Oh.
And so woke up, corrected. Everybody was fine. But yeah, so definitely for that night, we'll definitely look at getting a hotel. And honestly, that Monday night, I may even look at getting a hotel when it's just me.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, guys, thank you. This has been so helpful. I don't know if my wife's still awake or not, but if not, I will definitely have her watch this episode.
Oh, and you don't get Gina as a guide. That's too bad.
I know. I'm in Florida anyway.
Yeah, these two are in Florida. Yeah. So
he's
all right, guys.
Back, but, all
right. But
no,
guys,
I'll be home already.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And we may very likely do some kind of a little bit of a report in on how this goes. So with that, everyone, we will see you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcasts and leave those 5-star reviews as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @plusplatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.